restart people or die. Yeah, let's do Saving Private Ryan. Yeah, I watched that like 10 times. One time I was with Peter watching it.
Down there.
Yeah, they have a big air show down there. But they have hours. They have Reenactment.
It's like a 2-hour movie. 2 hour and 40 minute movie. I thought it was, yeah.
It's not nearly the scope. Wedding's all about the wedding.
I had to choose. Oh, I definitely anti-aircraft. I mean, artillery, you're just sitting behind the fire.
I've always watched public
I don't even see any
pretty tough on my old
At TX location, you can find t-shirts, souvenirs, commemorative coins, etc. There's one on the corner. The upper bluff area is the main TX, one in the access camp, and also one in the lower pavilion. Again, they are selling t-shirts for today, souvenirs, commemorative coins, etc.
All the way over there. I found a dead catfish.
They show us trying to
Yeah.
stop the blood.
that whole movie was kind of, yeah. We tried to watch all of his movies.
Got the link to my arm.
Band of Brothers is good too. You should watch that series. You're like this type of
Closest I have to a brother is a dog. I'm mad because I have like...
Hey, God.
Oh,
You're going to have your own little battle here, aren't you?
30 seconds.
Careful, you don't step out. Maybe just take
I just bought an airborne jetpack and overalls and I bought the liner and the shirt I was talking about. Even cool. Because I already have the uniform. The thing that I have is the military as a thing.
the West Side Mafia stuff, he's already killed.
Until I left, I went down.
I don't mind moving, but he came there as well.
Please keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that donation buckets are circulating throughout the park.
Came in 6.
I think the
and
airborne
finished
one that I
off
found
in
was
7.
like
Check test 1, 2.
Awful last night.
Some help comes in the form of cash to help put on this D-Day event. It's greatly appreciated.
Yeah, rainstorm.
If you follow the donation buckets that are moving about the camp, they're being carried by people normally in period costume. And any donations that you can give would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. So this event to be put on in future years.
I know what you have to be Russian or German. Yeah, I know we can American is like
Like that. Until we got to the end,
it's just because everyone.
we're going to battle all the way home here in about 5 hours.
No, I don't know.
I wouldn't tell you what way to go home. 322 is not bad.
It's not. I've been out to Buffalo a couple times this year, and I've been in and out. That's not too bad. The problem is I get a little bit of lead foot. A couple places there, I was like,
Here they go.
it was a good thing that somebody was fucking me.
Formation.
Also, don't forget our 2 raffles that are taking place
here.
today.
Alright, look at the troops
We
marching.
have the Ohio Amboy Rifle Club. This is the local gun club that is raffling off an
Is that
M1
your wife and white shirt?
Grand.
What's her name? What's her name?
An M1 Garand rifle, $10 ticket. Half the proceeds go to D-Day, Ohio. And again, this is being raffled off by the Amboy Rifle Club.
Oh my God, he's
They are
on the hill
located
again.
in Upper Concourse. attention.
My wife says I'm
Pick up
embarrassing.
a raffle ticket
I didn't
for
have
the
a problem.
M1 Durand rifle, $10 a ticket. Also, there's a raffle by the Conneaut Fish and Game Club for a Springfield 1911 45 caliber pistol with commemorative grip or a $500 cash option. This drawing is tomorrow. Only 500 tickets are being sold. 50% of that proceeds go to DJ Ohio. And this booth is located next to the Hunky Kitchen, just opposite the Allied Parade Ground on the main Vendors Avenue.
If you want, you can use this chair if you can place it somehow. Oh. We're going in opposite directions.
Also, keep in mind that tonight, Don DeSantis' big band performance at the Conneaut Arts Center, 1025 Buffalo Street, that's 2 blocks east. It is on an outside stage.
We won't let you.
The Don DeSantis big band performance tonight at 2 o'clock at the Conneaut Arts Center.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Also tonight at 7 o'clock we have the Allied baseball game. That's at
Is that better?
CLYO complex. There will be an Allied baseball game at 7 o'clock tonight at CLYO.
Please stand behind me and hold it.
Out of the way.
Watch out, Clyde.
Yeah, for support.
I can release it and put my arm there. Got it?
Yeah, you good?
They're marching off. They're heading to the assault boats, the landing craft.
So, years and years ago, I thought there was only one operating, or one higgins boat in the world.
It was.
What, do they find more, or do they,
I tell you,
or that, yeah.
it might not even be true landing craft.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're gonna find out here in about a half hour. You gonna videotape any of it?
I won't get pictures for Jim Troy and her. I can't really give them video as much as give them pictures.
Try to take video of the landing craft.
I might. Watch the flip, you're standing on the helicopter. Yeah, what are they? Before I get loaded up.
I see you see the landing craft coming? Look at the landing craft boat. Oh, how cool.
Thank you.
That's a landing drop, I think. Oh, those are the Higgins boats. I didn't even see them.
Ladies and gentlemen, in anticipation and preceding the beach landing today, our Normandy beach battle, please kindly make way and access for the troops as they head to the embarkation location. The troops use all roadways with caution while walking and kindly yield to the troops and troop vehicles and personnel. Again, ladies and gentlemen, as the troops embark and they are proceeding to the beach landing, please kindly make way and access for the troops and any troop vehicles heading to the beach.
Oh, last year because of COVID.
It is a little crowded. Please step out of their way
2020, just the...
and use all roadways with caution while walking. And again, please kindly yield to any troop vehicles and personnel that are making their way to the beach. Thank you for your cooperation.
So you got to pretend that the first time. Don't have a similar.
Well, I know when we're done here, we're making a beeline home.
To the battle?
Yeah. Well, we're going to stay to the end, but we'll be here at 7. I don't know, I want to be home before midnight.
5-6 hour drive.
It's about a 4.5. So, a lot of going to all the traffic was horrible last night.
There's always accidents, there's delays, that's the worst.
There'll be a group of 5.
Oh, I know, they looks like they're playing. Where were we at when that bus driver stopped the bus on the like 70 miles? Yeah. In the middle, it was like around 6 miles highway. He just stopped dead south, and we were like 3 cars behind.
It only takes 5 seconds for it to get 18 miles an hour.
We were worried about the cars coming behind us.
It's all black. Yeah, it's all black. Head out at 2:40. It's 2:30.
I come down to the drags every year already. Where's that from there?
No, your снято is actually like a fish fur hat. It's called fish fur. It's fake. That's the furry hat that they wear. That's called. Do you?
Isn't the guy with the white shawl home?
Yeah.
Actually, modern combat helmets are based off the German helmets. You didn't know that. The Germans in World War I created the Stahl helmet. It comes down and covers their ears and covers their neck. And also, there's little pressure valves in the helmet, so when a shell comes in from the concussion, the air doesn't mess up the brain. It goes out the helmet. Because enclosed areas cause pressure. That's what the ceremonial, like parades. They use that in the 1875 pressure war, and they got rid of the
up on top there, they were guns, machine guns, all that. I said that mine should 50 cents a piece. Right there, they're going for $100,000.
Well, the Germans were they have been very militarized since the 17th.
Yeah, 60 grand.
Yeah,
60 grand for
They were all
fuel.
they were very serious. And then they were like, well, this isn't working out very well, so it's too real element.
I'm sure the government maybe might give them money.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm watching.
Coming in out here.
And ladies and gentlemen,
I thought of that. Yeah.
kindly make way for the as they head to the beach. They use all roadways, so please use all roadways with caution. While walking, kindly yield to all troop vehicles and personnel. Y'all as the troops embark and make their way to the beach, they use all roadways, so please kindly step aside and let them pass as they head to the beach. Thank you.
Did you know the 82nd was the first airport in the United States history? They were the first ones.
That's where Uncle Brian was, isn't he? When he had the 81st. He made her 82nd. Brian in the 82nd.
Same tactics.
I was reading the book whenever they were attacking the Bastards. Got in trouble because they were climbing up the mountain with the
I know, buddy. I was down with the first law people try to get in here. Get space to see, so you don't want to
We're not going to talk about that right now.
Kindly make way for them and allow them to access as needed at the embarkment location. The troops and vehicles will be using all roadways. So while walking, please kindly yield to the troop vehicles and personnel. And thank you for your cooperation. Our Normandy landing is coming up in close to 15 minutes.
Less I have to move, the better it's going to be. They were all stationed there like that. Lieutenants come over and come and sort of did you see all of them ashore? I think the boats keep coming back to get them. They keep I don't know.
With that one.
No, it's fine. I mean, I can put it down. You can hammer down. That's like
Captain Card.
this is actually a custom.
Yeah, on the Higgins boat. I think they were trying to get the guidance off and reenactors on. What would happen if America lost?
Right here.
There's the hash track beside it. Hey, grab it. Hey, stand here. I think we my grandson is there. What is that? They say no. We drive. It makes you feel uncomfortable that you didn't tell.
Ladies and gentlemen, hailing from St. Louis, Missouri, and now appearing in their 11th year at D-Day, Ohio, please welcome your songbird sweetheart and USO Camp Show Coordinator Janelle Gilry Owens.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us for our D-Day reenactment. A few housekeeping things that I'd like you to pay attention to before the battle begins. At the end of the battle, when the fighting is over, the enactors will stand for a moment of silence, and we ask that you hold your applause, not only for that moment of silence, but then we will hear the prayer President Roosevelt prayed for the defenders. And so wait until after the prayer is over before you applaud for the reenactors. And also, as you're looking at the beach, the action begins. Utah Beach will be to the right of where you're looking, and Sword Beach will be to the left. And if you follow across, The narration goes along with the different beaches.
The first flag is Russian, modern Russian, but originally it was given by Hitler to Russian collaborators. So it's not, in the 1700s it was trade flag in Europe and Russia, Peter the Great. But it was never imperial Russian flag.
Huh, really?
So it's kind of mess in modern symbols. Trader's flag is a kind of official Russian flag now.
Where are you from?
No, originally Russia, but it is Siberia. I'm saying I'm not Muscovite. Siberians are different. Siberia was developed by everybody. A lot of Ukrainians are there. Every 17, 18, 1900s, they always lived peacefully together. A lot, like Canada. No man's land, nothing to divide, nothing to argue about.
Really?
Mutual help aid was necessary for survival. Relations, European, Russian, Ukrainian relations, like now, it was absolutely unthinkable there. For us, it's kind of nonsense.
I just did a job for a lady that was came here in 2003, couldn't speak a drop of English. She was young, she was 19. Fast forward 11 years. I could understand her pretty good, but her mom was probably in her early 70s. She didn't speak any American. But there we go. Get that plane in the back.
Difficult to catch.
Codenamed Operation Neptune, the largest seaborne invasion in history commenced at 0630 on June 6, 1944. After months of planning and training, Allied infantry and armored divisions began landing along a 50-mile stretch of the Normandy coast in 5 distinct sectors. From west to east, they were Utah, Omaha, Gold, Juneau, and Sword. Nearly 5,000 landing and assault craft, 289 invasion escort vessels, and 277 minesweepers participated in the invasion, and almost 160,000 troops crossed the English Channel on D-Day. By the end of June, the Allies had landed an astonishing 875,000 men. The landings were preceded by extensive aerial and naval bombardment and the airborne assault by 24,000 U.S., British, and Canadian paratroopers. Strong winds blew the landing craft east of their intended positions, particularly at Utah and Omaha. The men landed under heavy fire from gun emplacements overlooking the beaches, and the shore was mined and covered with obstacles such as wooden stakes, metal tripods, and barbed wire, making the work of the beach clearing teams difficult and dangerous. Casualties were heaviest at Omaha with its high cliffs, while at Gold, Juneau, and Sword, several fortified towns had to be cleared through house-to-house fighting.
If I didn't know that they were fired blanks, every second I thought I would
Members of the 8th Infantry Regiment of the 4th Infantry Division were the first to land on Utah Beach, arriving at 0630. Their landing craft were pushed to the south by strong currents, and they found themselves about 2,000 yards from their intended landing zone, to a point that was more likely to sink them. Officers in the first wave had subsequent waves redirected to this spot because of the light resistance. The initial assault battalions were quickly followed by engineer and demolition teams to remove beach obstacles and clear the area directly behind the beach of obstacles and mines. Gaps were blown in the seawall to allow quicker access for troops and tanks. Combat teams began to exit the beach around 0900. The 4th Infantry Division landed 21,000 troops at a cost of over 197 casualties. contested beach was assigned to the 1st Infantry Division. Omaha was assigned to the 1st Infantry Division and the 29th Infantry Division. Strong currents ensured. Strong currents forced many landing craft or caused them to be delayed. Many of the craft ran aground on sandbars, and the men had to wait 100 yards in water up to their neck while under fire just to get to the beach. Problems clearing the beach of obstructions led to the beach master calling a halt to further landing until 0830. A group of destroyers providing fire support so managed to resume. From the beach was possible only via 5 heavily defended gullies, and by late morning barely 600 men had reached the higher ground. By noon, as the artillery fire took its toll and the Germans started to run out of ammunition, the Americans were able to clear some lanes on the beaches. They also started clearing the gullies of enemy defenses so the vehicles could move off the beach. At Gold Beach, high winds made it difficult for the landing craft, and the failure of aerial attacks to destroy abrasion and artillery meant that the British soldiers destroyed under heavy infrared fire. An 88mm gun from a Gateway emplacement was disabled about 7:30. But a second gun continued to take its toll until 1600, when it was destroyed by attack. Once upon the beach, infantry began clearing the heavily fortified houses along the shore and advanced on targets further inland. Allied casualties at Gold Beach are estimated at 1,000. At Juno Beach, rough weather forced the first waves of Canadian Division soldiers to be delayed until 07:35. As the men arrived ahead of their supporting armor, several assault companies of the Royal Winnipeg Rifles and the Queen's Own Rifles of Canada took heavy casualties. Exits from Montana were created, but not without difficulty. However, strength of numbers as well as coordinated fire support from artillery and armored squadrons cleared most of the coastal defenses within 2 hours of landing. The subsequent push inland achieved mixed results because of delays and heavy resistance. When all operations were ordered to halt at 2100, the Queen's Own Rifles of Canada Infantry Division had reached its D-Day objective, and the 3rd Canadian Infantry Division had succeeded in pushing farther inland than any other landing force on D-Day. 5. Resistance on the beach was weak, however, the beach was heavily mined and covered with obstacles. Making the work of the beach clearing crews difficult and dangerous. The windy conditions caused the time to come in more quickly than expected. Yet within 45 minutes, the fighting had been pushed inland. On the east flank, commando units lined up British paratroopers by 1300. The only significant German counterattacks on D-Day came at Fort Beach. Starting around 1600, the 21st Panzer Division made 2 attacks against the British forces and were not fully neutralized until late evening. By the end of 6 June, the German 716th Infantry Division had been almost entirely destroyed, many having fought to the death. Estimates of Allied casualties on Sword Beach are as high as 1,000.
God bless.
had called for the capture of several towns, with all the beaches other than Utah linked to with the front line 6 to 10 miles from the beaches. Those objectives were not achieved. The 5 bridgeheads were not connected until 12 June, and a major objective would not be completely captured until July 21st, 1944. Successful Allied deception campaigns, incomplete German fortifications, Allied air superiority, and disruptions to the French transportation and infrastructure all helped ensure victory in the Normandy campaign. German casualties on D-Day were about 1,000 men. Allied casualties were at least 10,000 and 4,414 confirmed dead. We invite you to rise for a moment of silence in honor of those fallen. And if you will, the prayer that was prayed by President Franklin Roosevelt, my fellow Americans, last night, when I spoke with you about the fall of Rome, I knew at that moment that troops of the United States and our allies were crossing the channel in another and greater operation. It has come to pass with success thus far. And so in this poignant hour, I ask you to join with me in prayer. Almighty God, our sons, pride of our nation, this day have set upon a mighty endeavor, a struggle to preserve our republic, our religion, and our civilization, and to set free a suffering humanity. Lead them straight and true. Give strength to their arms, stoutness to their hearts, steadfastness in their faith. They will need thy blessings. Their road will be long and hard, for the enemy is strong. He may hurl back our forces. Success may not come with rushing speed, but we shall return again and again. And we know that by thy grace and by the righteousness of our cause, our sons will triumph. They will be sore tired by night and by day, without rest until the victory is won. The darkness will be rent by noise and flame. Men's souls will be shaken with the violences of war. For those men are lately drawn from the ways of peace. They fight not for the lust of conquest. They fight to end conquest. They fight to liberate. They fight to let justice arise, and tolerance and goodwill among all thy people. They yearn but for the end of battle, for their return to the haven of home. Some will never return. Embrace these, Father, and receive them, thy heroic servants, into thy kingdom. And for us at home, fathers, mothers, children, wives, sisters, and brothers of brave men overseas, whose thoughts and prayers are ever with them, help us, Almighty God, rededicate ourselves in renewed faith in Thee in this hour of our great sacrifice. Many people have urged that I call the nation into a single day of special prayer. But because the road is long and the desire is great, I ask that our people devote themselves in a continuance of prayer. As we rise to each new day, and again when each day is spent, let words of prayer be on our lips, invoking thy help to our efforts. Give us strength, also strength in our daily tasks, to redouble the contributions we make in the physical and the material support of our armed forces. And let our hearts be stout, to wait out the long travail, to bear sorrows that may come, to impart our courage unto our sons, wheresoever they may be. And, O Lord, give us faith. Give us faith in Thee, faith in our sons, faith in each other, faith in our united crusade. Let not the keenness of our spirit ever be dulled. Let not the impacts of temporary events, of temporal matters, of but fleeting moment, let not these deter us in our unconquerable purpose. And with thy blessing, we shall prevail over the unholy forces of our enemy. Help us to conquer the apostles of greed and racial arrogancies. Lead us to the saving of our country and with our sister nations into a world unity that will spell a sure peace, a peace invulnerable to the schemings of unworthy men, and a peace that will let all of men live in freedom, reaping the just rewards of their honest toil. Amen.
Thank you for letting me use your chair.
You're welcome.
As well.